Hello and welcome back to lesson 3 of your IELTS review video. Today we're going to be looking at your living accommodation, or what you would call your home. Now, let's get started. Can you describe a place where you live? When you would hear this question and it comes up a lot, you should immediately be cued into it. You know what's going to come next. So the basic answer, I live in a small town. It's a peaceful place with some trees and parks nearby. You hear that, and if you've watched lesson 2, you see there's a lot of similarities. But as the questions go on, you'll see there is a divergence in what you're talking about. A more intermediate answer would be my current residence is situated in a quiet suburban neighborhood, surrounded by lush greenery, offering a tranquil environment. Now, if you've read it fast, you'll see what I meant is now changed. What kind of housing accommodation do you live in? So your basic answer, I live in an apartment building, or I live in a block of flats is another way of saying that. But you don't want to say that. I want you to give those elaborate answers and really get those high points. So, I reside in a modern apartment complex that provides various amenities and facilities. Question 3. What do you like about your flat? Flat is a very British term. If you're not familiar with it, it just means an apartment, okay? Now, a basic answer is I like that it's cozy and easy to clean. A small house, very little cleaning to do. But your more advanced answer, one aspect I appreciate about my flat is its cozy ambience, along with the ample natural light that streams in. Now, of course, if you answered in question 2 that you live in a house, they're going to ask you, what do you like about your house? What do you like about your mansion? What do you like about your castle? Wherever you say you live, this question will change. So you can easily change the words from flat to house. Okay? One aspect I appreciate about my house is its cozy ambience, along with the ample natural light that streams in. These are very simple changes that you can make to fit your personal situation. Question 4. Which room does your family spend most of the time in? We spend most of our time in the living room. Very common in most families. Most teenagers spend most of the time in their bedroom, according to stereotypes. But a more advanced answer would be, the heart of our home is the living room. The heart of my home is my kitchen, where my family and I gather for discussions, entertainment, and relaxing. But if you love your kitchen, if you love food, the heart of our home is our kitchen, where my family and I gather for food, drink, and entertainment. Question 5. What can you see from the windows where you live? I want you to pause the video, look out of your window. What do you see? Remember that, try and think of a description, and that's what you're going to say. But if you say that I can see some trees and a playground, what can you do better than that? The view from my window offers a pleasant panorama of well-maintained gardens and a charming children's playground. Question 6. Do you prefer living in a house or a flat? Now, if you haven't lived in either of those, you could say that. But a basic answer if you have is, I prefer a house. Given the choice, I'll lean in towards residing in a house, primarily due to the additional space and sense of privacy it provides. But if you haven't, do you prefer living? You could actually answer, I've never lived in a house, so I wouldn't know. But I do love my flat for its natural reasons. Question 7. What would you like to change in your flat? Now, if you've been in your flat a long time, you start dreaming of changing wall colours. But the big answer, I would like to have a larger kitchen. Well, if I could make alterations, I'd opt for a more spacious kitchen that allows for a more convenient meal preparation and socialising. And question 8. What do you dislike about your flat? This shows a bit of self-reflection, and that's what most educators like. Basic answer, I don't like that. It's a bit noisy sometimes. If you live in a city, you can answer that very simple. One aspect that I find slightly bothersome is the occasional noise disturbance that filter into that flat from the surrounding air. Okay, so that's the end of the question section. Next, we're going to go on to a short story that you should read along with me. This is to try and give you more background information about that you could use in your everyday conversations, but specifically information that you can pick and choose from to give your own answers in your examination. As the population grows and cities expand, the diversity of living accommodations and has become more pronounced, from cozy apartments to spacious houses. Individuals have a range of options to choose from, each offering unique advantages and considerations. Now, apartment buildings have become a hallmark of urban living. They offer convenience for those seeking a lower maintenance lifestyle. Modern apartment complexes provide amenities such as fitness centers, communal gardens, and 24/7 security. Standalone houses continue to capture the hearts of many. They afford a sense of privacy and allow for personalized living spaces. Houses often come with gardens, offering a connection to nature and a space for relaxation. Those seeking more space and a quieter environment tend to opt for houses. Deciding between an apartment and a house depends on personal preferences and lifestyle needs. Those valuing urban conveniences may lean towards apartments. Apartments offer efficiency and convenience, but may have occasional noise disturbances. Houses provide more privacy, require more maintenance and upkeep. In conclusion, in the world of living accommodations, diversity reigns supreme. Houses offer a sanctuary for those seeking tranquility and space. The choice between the two is shaped by individual priorities and preferences. Apartments cater to urban dwellers' needs for accessibility. Okay, so we've finished the story. Next, I'm going to go through some useful vocabulary that you can incorporate into your answers. You will see some of these in the answers and the story we've already written. Residence, where you live. A dwelling, a place where someone lives. An abode, again, another way of saying dwelling, where someone lives. Suburban, urban is the middle of your city, suburban is the outside of your city, and then you have the country side, which is outside the city. Lush greenery, and you know those beautiful trees, flowers, grass. There you go. Tranquil environment, peaceful, and ample natural light. Yeah. When you open the windows, the light fills your room. Types of housing. There are so many, I can't cover them all, but here we go. Really. Apartment building, modern apartment complex, cozy, urban, house, privacy, and spacious kitchen. These are all things that you can have in your house. What type of house? And honestly, I think you need to go and do your own research on this one. Otherwise, I'll be here all day. No. Rooms and spaces. Living room. Pretty simple. Your garden. Okay, if you're living in a city, having a garden is quite rare. We should talk about that. Noise disturbance. In a city, quite common, so talk about that. The view. If you're in a city, your view is probably more buildings. If you're in the countryside, maybe a field. Children's playground. You find those in both. So useful things to have. Then there are personal preferences. How do you say why you chose what you chose? Now, for most of you, you don't own your own house. You live with your parents. In which case, you should preface that in your conversation. My parents chose to live in an apartment because of a sense of privacy. Next, we have personal preferences. Now, most of you watching this, if you're taking your IELTS exams, you don't own your own house. Many of you will live with your parents or your grandparents, and therefore you should preface that in your conversation. Instead of saying, you chose a house to live in a house because of, my parents chose to live in a house or to raise me in a house because of this sense of privacy or the additional space. You could also talk about, they've made alterations to the house, expanded it, put more windows in, got rid of the old kitchen, gave a brand new kitchen. These are all personal preferences that you could add interesting tidbits of information into your conversation. And then positive aspect, well maintained. It's a charming. Charming is usually reserved for villages and towns, but you can have a charming inner city apartment. Pleasant panorama. What are you looking at? I'm a country boy personally, so I enjoy the fields and the hills. If you love cities, you may love the skyscrapers. You should say that. Then there's the challenges and discomforts of where you live. Bothersome. One of my favorite words. One of my students is very bothersome. Or noise disturbances. Occasional noise. Filter into. These are all words you can use to show how noise affects you. Right. Next bit, we have our paraphrasing exercises. We have questions, statements, and descriptions. As with the previous episodes, you should pause the video, have a go yourself, and then go through it. Try not to copy mine. So, what kind of accommodation do you live in? What type of living arrangement do you have? Do you prefer living in a house or a flat? What do you lean towards residing in, a house or an apartment? What would you like to change in your flat? Are there any alterations you would consider making to your apartment? Statements. Apartments are designed for those who prefer a low-maintenance lifestyle. Apartments cater to individuals seeking a lifestyle with minimal upkeep requirements. The convenience of modern apartment complexes has redefined urban living. Contemporary apartment communities have reshaped the definition of city dwelling through their convenient amenities. Houses offer a personal living space and connection to nature through gardens. Residences provide inhabitants with an individualized living area and a link to the outdoors via their gardens. Again, paraphrasing scripture, same exercise. I believe you can do it by yourself. Have a look, pause the video. That's everything for today. Thank you very much. I'll see you on the next one.